Hi, Patriots. This is John Paul Moran with Relentless Bill Robinson, a columnist with Newsmax, the great Newsmax. And thank you for joining me today, and I'm glad we can meet.
It's a pleasure, sir. You're a great American.
Well, I'm just doing what Americans should be doing, which is fighting for our country, our freedom, liberty, and our constitutional rights, right?
Yep. Well, I'm just enthused to hear your use of the word patriot. This is another one of the words the left is trying to get us to stop using. They want to turn the word patriot into something bad, and I'm not going to allow them to do it. I use patriot as much as possible. For instance, there's this great phenomenon of patriot groups popping up, an organic thing of patriot groups popping up, and we're calling them patriot groups. Some people are suggesting we call them freedom groups because they think the word patriot has some kind of bad connotation.
Yeah.
And I beg to differ. I'm going to use any darn word I want to use, and I'm a writer, and I don't mind using the word homosexual. We've used it for 200 years. It's good enough for me. I don't mind using the word illegal alien. So I think it's important to not let them change our words, because that's the first step towards changing our thinking.
Yeah, that's brilliant, and I agree. I mean, there's a lot of words that I like to use, like I'm gay, I like using homosexual, but I don't like LGBTQ. I think it's the most I'm at war with that. And it's, by the way, that's homophobic.
I stand behind
Actually,
you.
it's homophobic.
I didn't know you were homosexual, but I stand behind you 100%. I think the whole use of LGBT2A++. I mean, we don't even know where we're going with that anymore, and it's just a general charade it's a Marxist charade. Marx liked to play with words. So did Saul Alinsky. They both thought they were bigger than their britches and thought they were so smarter than everybody. And it's just turned out to be these are two of the worst cockroaches ever in the history of mankind, really.
Yes, I agree. I agree totally. So it's great to hear your perspective, and I wanted to hear a bit more about what you thought. We talked a little bit about the scoring system, the OppScore, and what we're doing, and I love to hear a perspective of somebody that really just learned about it.
Yeah. And
what you think about what we're doing is this rotten tomatoes of politics.
Yeah, I'm fascinated by it, and I think as you grow it and build it, it's going to have the opportunity to go inside other big media's election operations. They're out to lunch. They're very susceptible to the left's chewing up and betrayals in the polls. President Trump, for instance, there's a recent Trump-DeSantis poll that says President Trump's at 41% and DeSantis is 31%. This isn't true. This is the cheerleading on the part of the Marxist people who hate this country, trying to get DeSantis in there to split the vote, or to actually, he's never going to win the nomination, let's face it. And it'll be a huge mistake if he runs. He'll be committing political suicide. But the fact of the matter is the polls are so dead. It's like a cold, dead eyes of a shark. Nobody in their right mind listens to polls anymore. And that's one of the reasons Trump had his historic election in 2016, is because all the polls were saying Hillary's going to win, Hillary's going to win. That was the drumbeat. And they steal elections in this way.
Yes, and I agree. And I think, one thing that you might like to hear is that right now we have agents, and we need to get agents, citizen agents, scoring these people, because it's got to be citizens and non-biased, otherwise people won't pay attention.
Yes.
So that's a big, it's constitutional. We're for the Constitution and the will of the people, but not for partisanship. And what we were going to do in our future generation, when we get the funding, is create a blockchain-backed app, which will guarantee that only American citizens who are registered, and we'll know what party they register with, that will be mandated for them to interact or poll or anything. So we'll have something the U.S. government doesn't even have, a blockchain bulletproof system to make sure the only people making comments or being polled are legitimate United States voters, one voice, one vote, none of this bot stuff. You like that idea?
I love that idea. I love the idea that the citizen agents, like citizen journalists that started about 15, 20 years ago. And they're so important because they keep the entire system honest. I like them because it's kind of like a secret shopper. You never know who a citizen agent is going to be for your company. And it's a great way for them to keep their pulse and keep politicians honest. And then you're keeping your fingers on the pulse of them. And then you're putting forth and spreading your information about what's going on with politics. And I just think it's great. There's so many opportunities for you to expand your operation, and I think like for instance, Fox News election desk. It's just nobody listens to it. Nobody trusts it. They're calling things early. They're manipulating. They're changing things. So this would actually be something to keep them honest and a way for them to, really kind of assure their viewer public that what they're saying is true and has some credibility about it.
Yes, and I agree. And it's everything is slanted, everything is colored, and even if you're more right-leaning and you're a Republican, you got to see everything. That you can't trust that media, and that's where we're hoping. Like Newsmax has got a lot more higher trust factor, obviously,
yes,
than the Fox News or obviously CNN.
I think so.
And we want to be able to have a place for people to go just to get the audience score of Rotten Tomatoes or the Yelp score or the Angie's List score. I use Angie's List before I had a chiropractor, right? People trust their peers. We got to make this the ultimate peer review, and that's our goal. And we're hoping we had about 50 people. We supported their victories that last election. They were all pro-USA candidates, and we want to see this multiplied by 100.
Well, it's another way to bring the truth to the people, to we the people. Their current strategy on the left is to make it sound like there are so many more of them than us. It's just undeniable that we are more and stronger than they are. So
much more.
Yeah, they just get us like oh, we don't know what to do. Things are going so badly. No, we're going to win this thing totally. Yeah. And I've interviewed President Trump several times recently, at the beginning of January, and I can tell you this guy is ready. This guy is locked on, laser focused, ready to go. And if I like Ron DeSantis, but if he runs in 2024 against Trump, he's going to get decimated. If he just hangs out, stays cool, and runs in 2028, I'll vote for him. I like him very much. I think his wife would make a great first lady. But if he comes up and he proves himself disloyal to Trump, who actually made him, by the way, he wouldn't have beat Gilliam by 5,500 votes without that Trump endorsement. If he's disloyal to President Trump, he's going to look very bad. And just imagine him coming out of that first debate. It's not going to be good for him. So the smart money has him waiting. There's also a law in Florida that says you have to resign to run. So he has to resign as the governor to run as president. He's trying to change the law. They're on a deadline. They can only change the law by July. So it would be a real minefield for him to run.
It seems, I didn't know all those details. So to our viewing public, I mean, this is important to know. There's a lot at stake in 2024, and no matter what, we need our country back.
Well, people who love America, our enemies are all saying, oh, yeah, DeSantis is great. Well, we know where they're going with this.
Yes.
They're trying to manipulate us into pushing Sanders ahead of Trump. No, 2024 is Trump's term. And if they try to change it or steal it, we recognize that coming. So, what's important is that people stick together, whether you're black, white, Hispanic, middle class, upper class, gay. I love the whole gays for Trump phenomenon because, you got Peter Thiel and you got Rick Grinnell. I interviewed Rick Grinnell. I found him to be strong as an ox, man. That guy is like solid.
And what about even better? Not even better, but gays against groomers. They're on fire as well. They're banned everywhere.
I love that. I love the whole, I love gays against groomers and the young lady that's in that. I want to interview her for my column because she's just like awesome. And she puts people who have different ideas about love and marriage in a much better light because it separates, of course there are good and bad people. There are good and bad people everywhere.
That's right.
Republicans, Democrats, men, women. But it's so great to see gays for groomers come out because you can see all the libtards immediately like, hamina, what do we do now? And they're also pushing back on the transgender thing, which is destroying and mutilating our children.
That's right.
This is so it's like it doesn't matter if you're gay or not, but you know what's right from wrong.
Hands off the kids.
Hands off the kids. Man, you start messing with our kids, you're going to get
creeps.
You're going to get lambasted.
Creeps. Jail sentences for life. You touch them.
Yeah.
That's being nice.
I'll set up the scaffolding.
All right, great. So, and that is in our Bill of Rights that we put together, Bill of Human Rights, and the OppScore system. None of that. So, I'm glad we could talk. I'm glad you like the mission. And would you be willing to spreading the word and helping us get the word out there so we can grow this faster rather than later?
I love startups and I love the spirit of entrepreneurship, bootstrapping. and I love what you guys do, so I'll do anything I can to help.
Thanks, brother. And you want to give anybody where they can find you? Where's your column?
Yeah, my column is at newsmax.com. You can just Google or DuckDuckGo or Brave, even better. Search for me on newsmax.com, Relentless Bill Robinson. I've got some columns out in the last month on President Trump and his visit to East Palestine and the God's work he was doing there and the hero's welcome he got. It's really just amazing. This guy is a great man, and he needs to be supported. Look with suspicion on anybody who's trying to put him down. He's a good man.
Great. Well, thank you, and thank you. Can we say, will you endorse the OppScore?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, absolutely. All right. Relentless, Bill. Stay relentless. Thank you. God bless, man.
Thank you, Mr. Moran.
Peace.
All the best. Peace out.